So guys, this is my weekly report for December 5th. We're already in December. It's almost Christmas. Where is this year gone? But anyway, give you a little idea what I've did in the last few days. I've been crappie fishing up north, up by Snodgrass. It's been really good. We've been catching a lot of crappie and perch. No big ones, they're just the size of your hand, but we're catching over 100 fish a day. But today, I went striper fishing. And I went on the San Joaquin River because the Sacramento side, Liberty, is all muddy. So I went over to the San Joaquin where I used to fish years ago when we used to get early rains like this. And I fished from the McCollum where it goes into San Joaquin. And I fished all the way down past Tiki, all the way into Whiskey, all the way back around by Mildred and Middle River. Came back out to the San Joaquin. Three of us throwing fish traps, top water, glide baits, fishing shallow, spooning and 25, 30. I didn't mark a whole lot of fish. Caught one 4-inch striper. Pathetic. So all I could see, the clearest water I could find was maybe 10 to 12 inches. Most of the places it was kind of brown, but I found some green stuff over there by Whiskey Slough. But I'm not grafting a lot of fish either, and it was just a terrible day. So I don't know what to tell you guys. The water temperature was 48 in the morning, and then it got as high as 53. So the temperature is okay. I just think there's not a lot of fish in the system right now, and hopefully they'll come in pretty soon. So I'm going to be laying low for a little bit. So anyway, other things going on. We'll go out in the ocean. Um, I saw a friend of mine the other day on the road, Lorenzo. He went out to Bodega this last weekend and he put 12 nice sized big albacore in a boat. It was a really good quality size. There's another boat out there and he talked to the guy and he had 6 yellowtail, but they weren't real big. And then a couple other boats, they had 12 and 18 albacore. So when you get out there, I think he said the water temperature was like 57 degrees, but the bite was real good. And then they trode back in towards home, for bluefin. They never got a bite. So, the weather permitting, guys that are getting out there, I'm sure, there's still some bluefin out there. So anyway, rock fishing. So, the shallow rock fishing is closed now as of December 1st. The deep water opened back up. So, no shallow water rock fishing. So you got to fish, in that 300 feet or more. So make sure you read the regs and make sure you follow the rules. Dungeness crab season's still been really good. Good sized crab are being caught. My brother was there last week and they caught them up to, 2-pound crabs. They were fishing out of Bodega up north in around 80 feet of water. They've been going further, getting closer to Fort Ross, but they're doing really well. So now you can't bottom fish. So if you're going to go crabbing, you can crab in any depth you want. There's no depth restrictions. But rock fishing, you remember you have to go deep. So, no more rock fishing close to the shore. So if you're out there getting Dungeness crabs, that's all you're going to be doing. No shallow water. You got to go way out there. So anyway, the deep water stuff, uh, the lingcod and the rock fishing's off the hook. Cal Don, he's saying he just makes one drift and he's done. The boat's limited out. So, out there it's just untouched water for so long and they're just loaded with fish. So, those kind of trips like Cal Don, you hook up with them and you go out there and you're going to get your 10 crabs and your 2 lings and your limit of rockfish. You'll have a sack. So, that's what you want to do. It's a good time right now. As you get into the winter time, the water starts calming down a little. So, you don't have to go out there when the seas are really rough. San Francisco Bay, I'm sure there's probably still some halibut in there and still some stripers. I know the leopard shark fishing and other shark fishing is probably still good. It's pretty much you could do it anytime. I don't know if the bait receiver is still open. You might want to make some calls and find out, if they are open. Coming in a little closer, you got the Delta and the sturgeon is off the hook. You got Ricky Acosta, Steve Mitchell, Jay Lopes. Those guys are out there. You know, they're using roll, and the water conditions are perfect. Jay posted the other day. I saw he had 4 on at once, and they're probably catching 10 to 20 sturgeon. You know, every time these guys are going out for their 6 or 8 hour tour. But if you want to go out and have fun and catch a lot of sturgeon, give one of them guys a call. You could Google any of their names. You can find out how get a hold of them and get out there. But remember, it's all catch and release. You can't keep any sturgeon now. The stripers, the water's a little bit stained. It's been a little tough. Like I said, I went out. Actually, this report's Thursday. I went out Wednesday, and it was terrible. So, you know, I tried to look for clean water. I did find some water that was pretty decent, but there's no fish there, and I didn't graft any. So I don't know what to say. Just gotta wait. Crappie down in the Delta is really good if you find a dead end slough, like hog, sycamore, beaver, snodgrass. You know, you got to find them. I use my live target to find them, and it's been really good. Been catching a ton of them. Bass fishing, I'd say I did really good before this mud came through up there at Prospect around Liberty. I was doing really well, but I haven't been back up there. So, you know, the bass fishing, you know, it's probably going to start slowing down now. Okay, lakes. The biggest issue is that golden mussel that they found in the Delta. They found it in Stockton, um, around San Joaquin River. And now that they're what they're going to do is they're going to prohibit boats from launching. So every water district has their own rules. So Solano County is part of Berryessa, so you can't launch any boats at Berryessa. So you have to have your boat decontaminated. So if you go to Berryessa right now, they're going to tell you can't launch. They're going to put this wire with a red tag on it that'll probably say Berryessa and the date, and they wrap it around your motor to your trailer. So if your boat comes off that trailer anywhere, you can't go back to Berryessa and launch. So the problem is you drive up to Berryessa, you have a strap put on, they tell you come back in 30 days. Well, what the heck? You're not going to go fishing anywhere else? If I can't go to Berryessa, I'll go somewhere else. Well, if you pop that tag off, then you can't go back to Berryessa until you go back up there and get that tag put on and then wait another 30 days, or you find a decontamination center. Steel Park has one, so that's the only one available right now. You could go to online to Solano County Water uh, uh, Water uh, Academy or something like that, and then you go onto their website, and then you're going to see a little box on the right hand corner on the bottom that says decontamination. So you click on there, and then you have to make an appointment. So you make an appointment. It costs you $100, but they give you the $100 back when you go to the appointment. And most boats take about an hour to get it done. Then once you get it done, you can just immediately launch your boat. So say I did it, went up there to Steel Park, had it done, launched my boat, went fishing, came back. I'd say, hey, can you retag my boat? And they put another tag on it. They put a green one, green color one on. So as long as that green tag stays on your boat, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, you could go back to Berryessa and launch your boat. But if, say you went to Folsom and dump your boat in there, and then you go back to Berryessa, you're not going to launch. You got to go through the decontamination thing all over again. So basically what's happening right now is they're going to have to do some kind of, these water districts are going to have to get together so that when they tag that green tag, when you come back in after you have it cleaned up, you get a green tag. That green tag should be good for all the lakes. So that if I went to Folsom or Comanche, launched, got done fishing, tell them, hey, can you tag my boat? And they would tag it again with the green tag. Then I go to Berryessa and they would let me launch. But you got to have it done each time you pull your boat in and out. So right now, Berryessa and Comanche are the ones that are closed, and they're following by the rules right now. So you have to have your boat decontaminated. There's only the Steel Park that does it. Gone Fishing Marine is going to do it. You might have to call because I don't know when they're going to start. And Lake Tahoe, they do it up there. So there's 3 places that do this decontamination. So otherwise, it's a 30-day wait period because the mussels will die in 30 days. So just be careful when you guys decide you want to go to a lake, because I would call and make sure, because New Melones, I was told that it was closed, but they didn't close it. Someone overrid it, so they left it open. But now they said as of this week here, they're going to let us know whether it's going to be closed or not. But you could bet all the lakes are going to follow suit to this thing, to where, that they're going to close it because of the golden mussel. And, it's just that these mussels, they reproduce really fast, and they filter out the lakes, and they eat all the plankton and everything. And your smolts, your redfin shad, kokanee, anything that survives by eating that food chain of, same thing that those mussels are eating, then there'll be no more, because they just filter the water, gets it really clear, and they just not good for our lake systems. So just be aware. I would call anytime I want to go to the lake. I would call, make sure that they're open, because trout season is right here knocking on the door. A lot of the lakes are already planning. Um, and the crappie and the bass bite, I've been trying to want to go up to Berryessa, but it's such a pain to get all this stuff done. And I know the spoon bite is on fire right now, and I know Comanche's probably good, and Folsom's probably good, Shasta, Orville. But you gotta just make sure you call, guys, and see if you can launch your boat. Don't drive up there thinking, because you might get turned away, and you're not gonna be able to launch it. You're just driving all the way up there for nothing. So, other than that, every Saturday, on California Sportsman's, I'm on Sep's radio show on 1140 on the AM dial. I'm on at 640. Every first Saturday of the month, I'm in the studio. And I also talk on Kent Brown's Ultimate Bass right at the end. So I give some tips about what's going on in the Delta. And then I'm on Sep's show for the whole 2 hours. So anyway, other than that, if you like the video, hit the like, subscribe, leave me a comment if you want. I'll get back to you. And also, I've been, doing this consulting on electronics and fishing. So, right now it's kind of like on a little bit of a hold. I got some family issues, but, I'm going to try to get it back up here running, where I'm doing it a couple of days a week. So other than that, good luck fishing, and remember, make those phone calls before you go to any lakes and make sure that they're open. So I'll see you guys next week.